Well, it's another week and WrestleMania is over. Welcome everyone to the 115 podcast with your host, Martin. And Mark is not here with us today because Mark has some personal stuff he's got to do. So, to Mark, it's your loss because we have a new guest here on the 115 podcast. Introduce yourself.
Some would say an upgraded guest.
Yeah, okay. Some would say upgraded guest, you know.
I think maybe a lot of people would say it. But
Fine, I'll do it again. So, Mark's loss, but we have upgraded the guest here tonight. So, sir, introduce yourself.
I'm Liam.
Everything we talked about before the podcast.
Martin, you know I have anxiety. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sing.
You happily would do it on his stream, and you know you used to do it on Mark's stream all the time.
But you don't deserve it.
Why did I invite you on my podcast?
Should I just leave now?
No, because I need someone to talk to.
Well, guys, thank you for joining the 115 podcast. This has been great, and I'll see you all next time.
Already, he's off to a great start. So, how are you doing?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Still tired after WrestleMania. Won't lie.
I mean, I couldn't get too tired anyway because I fell asleep like halfway through, but, you know.
I stayed up, watched the whole thing, and I was absolutely hanging during the main event, the botched main event.
I mean, it was right up until the ending.
Do you know what? I will say, I know I'm very biased when it comes to WrestleMania last year, but this year was a very good WrestleMania.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this WrestleMania. I've seen a lot of people say it was awful, and I'm just like, how?
Those are the people those are the people that should just stop watching wrestling altogether.
Exactly.
But I do have to say one thing because we brought back from Mark Still's stream the predictions title, and unfortunately we combined NXT and WrestleMania, and because we combined them and all their predictions, I missed out on winning by one prediction. So I have to announce this because I know he's probably waiting for me to announce this, but Mark is the predictions champion.
But wait a second. Mark isn't here.
He's not here.
The title is vacant.
The title is vacant. Nobody's here to claim it. And nobody's here to claim it on his behalf. You shut up, Liam.
God damn it.
So...
I tried my best.
So, you've watched all of WrestleMania, yes?
Yes, I have caught up, yes.
And, full on 100% thoughts and rating?
Ooh, rating. I give it a 7.5.
That's what I thought as well. That's what I thought the night afterwards. I thought, it was a good WrestleMania. I think what ruined it was extremely, extremely long. It was 8 hours of wrestling. 8 hours, include the pre-show, of wrestling, which was...
I mean, you can't really say, it's nothing we didn't expect.
I don't know, we expected it. It was just 8 hours of wrestling!
Yeah.
So, I think it's weird because obviously I do my reaction streams during it, and I was completely fine all the way up, but once we hit that main event, I remember just pulling the seat back and just guys, I'm so tired, I'm absolutely hanging. And even normally as I'm a proper fan of wrestling, I'd be like, oh, botched ending, what the hell? I was like, oh my god, botched ending. Guys, I'm going to bed. Good night. I was so happy.
I'm happy I fell asleep when I did, because it pretty much wasn't many good things going on.
No, outside of the big things, it was kind of just a normal pay-per-view, really.
I mean, I fell asleep just before Triple H and Batista started, so I was kind of annoyed that I didn't get to see Batista's entrance live. But it was still nice to see in the morning, I guess.
Yeah, like that was one thing because I've gotten the mother like watching wrestling now, and like well, she watched it years ago, but she kind of got out of it once Eddie Guerrero. So back on point. So she kind of stopped watching after Eddie Guerrero was gone, and then she came back because she was in America one time, and you know, she just so happened that Total Divas was on the TV, and she enjoyed it. She got to see Daniel Bryan and all that type of stuff. And then I said to her, because I believe that the Batista Triple H match was not happening this year. Like I honestly thought because of Triple H's injury it might not happen. So I was like, oh, next year we'll definitely go because I've the one wrestler I've not seen his entrance but really want to see his entrance is Big Dave. And unfortunately the match happened and he's announced his retirement.
I mean, the good thing about watching that in the morning is that I could actually scream and sing it out loud.
Yeah.
Because if I was watching it live, I would have been dying to just go.
do you watch Up Up Down Down?
I've seen the clip. I know what you're talking about.
I love watching this. The only thing I really enjoy watching is the GM mode, and oh my god, is every time just yeah. He went to he was at WrestleMania with Tyler Breeze, and they're both there during the practice. Yeah.
Did you see the Cultaholic reaction?
I did.
Oh my god, I love that so much.
I sent it to my mate Unicorn. Oh my god, it's hilarious. Just yeah. Absolutely brilliant. But that's one thing now. As a fan, I'm gutted that I'll never see his Batista's entrance unless he gets inducted to the Hall of Fame next year. WWE. If I go to WrestleMania, just make it happen.
I might have to go to next year's one.
I'm hoping. Because it's in Tampa Bay, which is it's close to where I want to be.
Yeah.
I hope. I'm pretty sure I looked up last day, so I want to go to Alcatraz, and I'm pretty sure I looked up. It's like I might be wrong with it. I think I'm wrong. It's like 3 hours away or something like that. So, and also Tampa Bay, Florida was the former residence of one Austin Aries, who's I'm a big fan of.
Well, so you think you're just gonna walk into him on the streets?
No, because he moved.
Damn.
He moved.
I mean, you might be there doing a booking, because almost every independent show ends up in the same place as WrestleMania that week.
I thought he doesn't get booked anymore.
Oh, doesn't he?
Well, this is just what I assume because I know everyone's really negative with him. That whatever happened in Impact.
I mean, I saw it was more him being negative with everyone.
Well, I just was not following it. Okay, but I'm really hoping to go to WrestleMania next year as well. Like the Royal Rumble is in Houston, where my dad's based over in America, so
yep.
That's a possibility as well. Like, cause when we went to Elimination Chamber in Houston, they sent us everyone that went to Elimination Chamber was sent an email with pre-sale codes to buy tickets to the Royal Rumble before anyone else in the world, pretty much, that wasn't there. So hopefully I'll get to go to both, because the Rumble is still one event I want to go to before I pass away.
Yeah, I think the two wrestling things I want to do is Rumble and just the whole Mania weekend, like including Raw.
I was talking about this with Catherine earlier on. I was in her stream, and because she was saying that she wants to go to WrestleMania as well. Like so far, a lot of people I know have said that they want to go to WrestleMania next year. I was saying to her, Joe, as someone who's been to WrestleMania, the best thing you could do as a first time person is don't. You know how on TV you normally focused on the match and you analyze the match and you want a good match. Don't do that at WrestleMania. Enjoy the moments, enjoy the people around you, because they will make the event 10 times better. That's why I've got a completely different opinion how WrestleMania 34 was to Matt or any of the other guys who were at WrestleMania. I had a very, very fun. That's why I'm so biased on WrestleMania. I think it was great. I think I gave it like a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 afterwards, just because I had so much fun because of the people around me.
That was last year's Mania now.
That was last year's Mania. With AJ Styles and Nakamura.
Man, that was a bit of a bummer.
Well, that was an absolute bummer of a match, but it was still a fun match for me because there was this. I think I spoke about it last week of the podcast as well. There was this girl who kept saying Nakamura's name wrong. She kept calling him Shinsuke. And there was this guy who was wearing a Shinsuke t-shirt, screaming at her like, "Who's Shinsuke? It's Shinsuke!" And the two of them would go up the whole match. The two of them go back and forward. It was hilarious. Like, we're pissing ourselves laughing in the crowd. We're not even paying attention to the match. Like,
that just sounds beautiful.
Like, I forget what WrestleMania it was where they had like, I think it was 31 where your man had said, you're surrounded by strangers, but you feel like you know them, you connect with them. I thought, well, that's not a bullshit. I'm going to talk to no strangers. I was talking to all the people around me. So
yeah, I think I'm gonna have to start saving now because I want to get it done with. Like,
yeah, like I'd highly recommend going to WrestleMania to any wrestling fan. But go back on track now to WrestleMania. Like, I was shocked this year we started off with the Universal title.
Yeah, but it was a brilliant opener.
It was
like for shock value and all that.
Because I remember seeing Paul Heyman. I was like, what the hell's Paul Heyman doing? I thought he was gonna announce he's gonna have a new client or something. Because I'm assuming Brock is done.
So we're gonna start straight with the main show. We're not gonna talk about the kickoff show at all, are we?
Oh, I mean, when it comes to the kickoff, we had the Battle Royal. The Battle Royal. Those two guys being in it, and when Braun Strowman was was he trying to throw over the Hardys? Was it at the very end?
Yeah, I think so.
When he was trying to throw over the Hardys, and that guy came in and was about to throw him over, I was like, "Oh my God, no! WWE, if you let a celebrity win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, I'm done. I'm not watching again." Thank God, Braun Strowman finally 3 years too late? He should have won it. The first WrestleMania of the brand split, I should say, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He should have won it then. So it's like, what, 2-3 years too late, in my opinion, but finally he's won it.
That was also the same year Mojo Rawley won it. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, it was the one that Mojo won. Braun should have won that one.
And look at what an extra amazing talent Mojo has become. He's now talking to mirrors and painting blue on his eyes.
It's broken him.
We're gonna see a broken Mojo Rawley. Yeah.
Wrong choice of words. But yeah, so Braun Strowman won that. We had the women's one. The women's one I think frustrated me the most.
I would have been really happy if Sarah Logan won.
It would have been something new. So I kind of agree with you on that point. When it's something new, it's something shocking. I like Carmella. I'm a Carmella fan, but I feel like it should have been given to someone who needed it. Like with Naomi winning it last year was the same thing. Someone that needed it. Bayley should have won to start the Sasha Bayley rivalry that they just didn't bother doing. So
I mean, if I had
go on.
Asuka probably needed it the most, for momentum, considering she just lost the title.
I mean, her momentum is gone. It's never coming back.
Yeah, but if I was gonna actually give it to someone who to try and get them started, I probably would have given it to Ember Moon.
I said this afterwards. I would have given it to either Mandy Rose or Sonya Deville. Mainly, I think Sonya Deville, because I've always said I don't know why I want to see Sonya get a push, but I want to see how she would do if WWE gave her a push. I don't know why. It's just always been in my head that I think that she's someone. If they just work on her, she could be something.
Yeah, I would have preferred Sonya winning it over Mandy.
So, but then like I see Sarah Logan when I was like, what? And I was like, oh, there's Mela. We're going to do the same thing we did last year. So, we had that one. With a good match, and I would have been happy with either result in this match, but I was very happy with the result that we got, was the Raw Tag Team title match.
I wasn't happy.
The thing is, I've said it for more. I said it for more than a year and a half that Kurt Hawkins' streak was going to end at WrestleMania in some sort of title match. I've always known it. I've always just in my head was like it's going to happen. So when they finally got that match, I was like, like the Revival is my favorite tag team in the world. There's no other tag team I put over them. I know you probably would. You watch a lot more independent than I do.
No, I'd still say Revival is one of my tops.
Like I even said to them like at Access, like you two are literally my all-time favorite tag team. And the thing is, they were so good at Access that if you showed up in a Bullet Club or Young Bucks T-shirt, they would literally be like, "What are you wearing? Huh? What are you wearing?" They would take the piss out of you for showing up in Bullet Club or Young Bucks because of the whole thing they had going on.
Yeah.
Like, they played that off so well, but, like, they're even really nice guys to meet, which was great. I would have loved for them to retain, but I knew what the outcome was going to be.
Yeah, I knew what the outcome was going to be, but I just didn't want to admit it to myself.
So I was happy either way. And what else was on? The Cruiserweights. I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked at the result, but was so happy as well.
I'll be honest. I was expecting them to put the title on Tori Nese, for the simple fact for the past 2 years at Mania, they've had the champion retain both times. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe this should be the year that they finally switch it up.
Well, technically, no one retained it last year. It was vacated.
No, it was
Tournament. Remember? Remember Enzo was champion?
Yeah.
Remember Enzo was champion and dropped it? Yeah. But like, I'm really happy with the direction that 205 Live is going. You think you know who's gonna win, but you don't know who's gonna win. Like I was like, Buddy Murphy, like he's absolutely killing it on 205 Live, and then just shock, Tony Nese wins. I was like, wow.
But also, you're not gonna get eyes on the product until you put an actual, like, big name into that brand.
Yeah.
But I don't want any big name starts to go into it because it's a bit of a relegation.
I think because no one, it doesn't have as many eyes on it, so I don't think Vince really has eyes on it because it's just
no.
So that kind of it's a good thing at the same time because like when I met Drake Maverick at WrestleMania last year, I said literally it's once Enzo was dropped and you came in, the show's been really good, and the thing is it's been really good all year out. I've enjoyed watching it.
I mean, yeah, the wrestling's always going. I haven't really got to see much of the storyline wise.
So,
but from the match that I've seen, is outstanding. Best in, almost guaranteed to be every night one of the best matches.
Yeah, I 100%. Like even Elimination Chamber, it was Buddy Murphy versus Akira Tozawa.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Oh my god, that match! Like I was there live. That match, you were exhausted after it. It was so much fun. Like even my sister here to my left, that was your first 205 Cruiserweight match. And what did you think of it?
What? Which one?
Remember the kickoff show? Elimination Chamber, the cruiserweights.
Oh, that was sick.
She that was her first time ever seeing the cruiserweights, and she was like,
So cool.
you know. So,
Wow.
but even like Tony Nese winning, let's get to the point. Like Tony Nese winning, I thought a really good thing, and you know like. What the bad thing with 205 Live that used to be, we used to always think, if you go to 205 Live, that's it. You know, they just don't care about you. That's why I'm disappointed with Hideo Itami. You know, but Mustafa Ali is a very good showing that if you put the work, effort, everything into 205 Live, you will be rewarded.
Yeah, which I can also see Buddy Murphy going onto the main roster
I can see,
anytime.
I can see Buddy Murphy doing well on main roster. I think his character is brilliant.
Yeah, he is outstanding. Outstanding performer, outstanding character. Basically the whole package.
Absolutely brilliant. And like, I think it's you never really had eyes on Buddy Murphy. Like even when he was Blake and Murphy, I didn't really care for them.
I mean, let's be honest, the only person anyone cared about in that whole thing was Alexa.
Yeah, pretty much. I can't disagree with that. And even like when Buddy Murphy came to 205 Live in the tournament last year, I still didn't care. But over the last year, it's been really, it's just been brilliant. Talk about something else. Charlotte, this is a wrestling podcast. Don't be an idiot. But I think Buddy Murphy is really good.
Yeah.
So going now into the main characters, I'm pretty sure we only have 4 matches, wasn't it? Yeah, we only had 4 matches.
Yeah.
I'm literally just going to work
Start
down
off.
from the list I had last year. We might, just quickly talk about them because there's nothing really much to talk about. Like the biggest one, Kofi Mania.
What a match.
I was so nervous throughout the whole match. Like my heart I was so nervous. I was like, what if he wins? What if he doesn't win? What if my reaction going to be? Oh my god! Blah, blah. I just couldn't sit there and watch. I wanted to skip to the end and just know if Kofi won the title.
But you know what I was worried about the most? I didn't think that Vince would make it so all 3 baby faces in all like world championship matches and obviously the women's main event. I don't think he'd have the baby faces win in all of those matches. So I was thinking once Seth won, it's got to be between Kofi and Becky. Who takes the loss here?
I thought the same thing. I thought all the baby faces cannot win tonight. And what the thing is, at the beginning of the match when Big E grabbed the present, I was kind of suspicious, like, well, why is there a title there that's covered?
Yeah.
Do you know, I kind of...
Did you see the WWE leaked the championship T-shirt?
I didn't.
Like at the start of the match, they leaked the T-shirt.
How?
So kind of spoiled the ending. I doubt anyone's actually looking at their phones that much.
Oh, did the shop tweet it out or something?
Yeah, they literally put it on the store. I don't know if they tweeted it out or anything, but they put it on the store.
Oh, thank God. Because I have W Shop on Twitter to notify me anytime they tweet. So thank God I probably wasn't looking at my phone.
Yeah, I'm guessing the shirt was actually just put on the store, and then maybe I don't know someone was for some reason looking at it during what was the most anticipated match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But why would you...
But I was really happy for Kofi, and the thing is, I said for SmackDown, it's so weird to see Kofi Kingston with the WWE title.
Yeah.
Like, I was so weird.
I was terrified watching the highlights of the night after when he challenged Seth for that.
Oh my God! I was like, no, don't do that!
Keep the brand split, please.
I mentioned this on last week's podcast. Remember when Charlotte won? I was like, why the hell they putting both belts on the line, and you responded, they're getting rid of the brand split. I was like, that's the worst idea I've ever heard.
Okay, no. So it wasn't my idea to like split up the brand. I didn't want that either. I was just making a prediction.
They better not, because even all this week I've been like, are they just gonna get rid of it? But like the shake-up is next week. Like,
Yeah, well, they can't be now they've still announced the Superstar Shake-Up.
so I'm happy though. Next week, it's back to normal. You know, everyone appears on their own show. Well, obviously, except Becky Lynch, who's gonna be on both shows.
Yeah.
But everyone will be on their own show. You know, no one's gonna be appearing on where they shouldn't be. But I do hope they take one of the belts off Becky. Because
Do you reckon they've got a feud going with Lacey Evans? Might be a bit early for it, but you know.
well, if they take the SmackDown one off Becky and give it to Lacey, that could work. Because you know, SmackDown you're kind of given more of a chance to build your character, whereas Raw it's straight into the deep end. So I think if they take the SmackDown one off her, it could work. But I feel like they might have Becky hold on to both of them until like if they do a like kind of Night of Champions pay-per-view.
Yeah. Well, do you think she might have to go through the same thing that Seth did when he was obviously world champion and US champion?
Yeah,
Then like defend both the same night.
that's what I was thinking. So, but for between Kofi and Becky, I'm happy both of them won. On like talking about the Becky match. What do you think? Was it a botch ending? Was it supposed to be that way?
It was definitely a botch ending. You could see like Ronda's full shoulders.
Ronda was very pissed off afterwards.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that wasn't the, predicted finish. Like,
Ronda was so pissed off afterwards. You could see like she went straight to the referee. So it kind of ruined the whole main event. Kind of feel like the first women's main event, and this is how it ends. What?
yeah, it makes you think like, can they trust the women to do it again?
Yeah.
But, yeah. How long do you think that should be before the women have another main event?
I don't think they'll have it next year. I don't think they'll
no,
have it next year.
No chance.
I don't know.
I mean,
When you really think about it, the big draw they had, and I don't care if people deny this, but the big draw they had for that match was Ronda Rousey. That was the big draw.
well, the big draw outside of WWE
Yeah.
was Ronda, yeah.
Like,
obviously inside WWE, all anyone cared about was Becky.
All I want to care about was Becky, but I feel if they didn't have Ronda, the women would not have main evented this year.
To be honest, the only, the next women's main event I can see, it has to be the full four horsewomen match.
Yeah,
that's Charlotte, Becky.
That's the only way I can see it. But I don't.
Nothing else.
I don't think that's going to happen. Not for at least following WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'd say about a good 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. Moving on, anyways. Roman Reigns vs. Drew McIntyre. The wrong man won.
No, I don't. You can't say that.
No, honestly, my heart, the wrong man won. Like I get it, big comeback story, Roman Reigns, beats cancer and all that type of stuff. But in terms of who really needed to win, Drew really needed to win.
I think it would have been fine if Roman won, but if at least Drew had like a really strong showing.
Yeah, because like if you think about it now, he's gonna be thrown into the WWE title scene now. Think if he won that title, how good it sorry, not that title, that match, how good it would be for the thing. If I could beat Roman Reigns and Kurt Angle and all these people, I could beat Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you as well. How long do you think it'll be before Kofi actually loses the belt?
Money in the Bank.
Really, the very next pay-per-view?
100%. If he doesn't, I'll say this: SmackDown wins the Money in the Bank ladder match. Kofi's lost the title. Raw wins. He'll hold on to it.
Yeah, but wouldn't they have the men's Money in the Bank that
Yep.
match last? So
I don't think so.
yeah,
I
usually
think-
they do.
I think if they do it right and plan it right, because they can always put the women's Win the Bank last, as long as they put top stars and people who are invested into it. But if they start with the men's and then SmackDown wins, I think Kofi will lose the title straight away. I think we'll get a CM Punk Alberto Del Rio where Vince comes out and is like, all right, send him out here, get that who insert name here out here.
He doesn't deserve that moment. I'd be happy if he at least kept it until SummerSlam.
Thing is, I think the person who's gonna beat him is Drew. That's who I think is gonna beat him.
I mean, I thought the same about Samoa Joe, though. Like, when he came out to SmackDown, I thought, he's got to be the person to take the title off AJ. But I don't think they play it into that, like, that quick.
Yeah, but the difference when it comes to Drew and Joe was injured, so he had no build, whereas McIntyre's been here for a year. He's had a year's worth of a major push.
But he's just lost to WrestleMania.
That's my issue.
Yeah.
But
I think there's money in. Okay, this sounds kind of stupid, but there's money in a New Day triple threat at SummerSlam.
I don't see the New Day turning on Kofi at all. Unless unless they have like Kofi start acting like he's his top guy, just being like having a major ego to the point where they turn heel on him because he had a major ego because he put himself above the New Day. At least they felt like he put himself above the New Day. But the whole point of the New Day, this is why I kept saying to people, because they're always like, "Oh, Big E's gonna turn on him. Big E's gonna turn on him." I was like, he's not. The whole point of the New Day from day one was that we'd get Kofi to be WWE champion. Way before Kofi Mania or anything existed, it was to get Kofi to the WWE title.
Yeah, that was Xavier's and Big E's goal, but I feel like now they got like a sort of storyline in place where possibly Xavier and Big E could be jealous of him and kind of go like, the only reason you actually got your title match is because of me and like those two, because obviously they won the tag team gauntlet.
Well,
It's a possible storyline,
how about Money in the Bank?
Why?
What if Big E wins?
Do you reckon he'd be in the match?
Yo, John, thanks for the follow. Punk, how dare you, sir? What if Big E wins?
Do you think he'd actually be in the match?
They got it last year.
I mean, Kofi got it last year.
They got it last year. They put Kofi in.
I mean, there's a lot more deserving people I can see getting it.
Yo, Method, welcome to the podcast, man. We'll put we'll put a pin in it. We'll put a pin in it.
Yeah.
The next match, and a match I thought was a good. It's a word. I think the word look for its homage to the old days of Raw, Batista and Triple H. I thought that was a good homage to the old way we used to watch wrestling, where which literally just kill each other.
Yeah, I enjoyed that sort of, I guess, killer instinct between the both of them. I I loved when Triple H pulled the nose ring.
Oh, that was so
Across the
bad.
nose.
Ah.
Oh, I loved it. I don't know why. It was just so good.
Oh, it was so good, but like I cringed when Orton got the screwdriver back at Hell in a Cell and twisted Hardy's ear where
Uh,
his thing used to be.
yeah.
And when I see Batista's nose ring, I literally like, no, no. And then they showed the replay, and Unicorn laughed at me for this. I was like, no, don't show a replay.
I think the only problem with that was that's a very heelish move to do, and I'm pretty sure Batista that whole match thought that was supposed to be the face in that match.
Oh yeah, and what I liked was there was like a flashback of their past matches when Triple H had grabbed the sledgehammer while he went for the Batista bomb, and Triple H didn't hit him. Instead, he got the Batista bomb. And fully, I think was that they did that. I think in their Hell in a Cell match was that kind of spot. But I like that. I like that they brought back moves from the past matches.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still sad that that's gonna be Batista's last match.
I cried myself to sleep.
Hall of Fame next year?
If he is, I'm going to WrestleMania. If he is, I'm going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think I'll probably do that. That'll probably be the only time I'd actually go to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Like, if Dave wasn't being announced for it, I probably would have just gone to like an indie show or something that night.
We hit the ring together.
We could do.
On to the next one now. A match that, you know what, I will say it was a fun match to watch. Was Styles and Orton. I felt like that was a good ending to the rivalry.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad match. I loved seeing all like the tweets about like everyone complaining about the lights. In the
But
stadium.
the thing is, you think they would have learned because this had the same thing at NXT with the lights. Yeah, they had the same thing at NXT with a light being shot. If you go back and watch NXT, I think it's like either during the War Raiders match or what, I can't remember what match it was, and the fans started cheering. I remember going like, what the hell was that? And someone from the arena had tweeted that if there was a light being shined on top of people that couldn't see shit, and they turned it off. And that's what the yeah.
Jesus Christ! Welcome to WWE, the professional company.
Yeah, the professional company. Next match, a very short match. I understand why it was a short match. Joe versus Ray.
I can understand why. Obviously, Ray wasn't still 100%.
But even if he wasn't injured, that's kind of how I'd expect the match to go.
Yeah, I mean, it makes Joe look like even more of a badass now.
Oh
But
yeah.
I would have preferred, instead of like playing the risk of actually, like having Ray in the match, why not have Andrade in his place?
That's what I said. Me and Mark made predictions last week in the case where I said Andrade. See, I'm so biased towards Andrade because I absolutely love Andrade. And it's
Yeah.
not Andrade, it's Andrade Cien Almas. Bring his name back.
Also, bring back Mustafa.
Oh my god, like when I seen his name was changed to Ali. Oh my god. It's like
There's also No Way Jose, whose new name is No.
no. I guess
Asuka's new name is Ass.
But well, is Beth just gonna be Phoenix then?
Nah, there's not enough comedy in that.
But Andrade, oh my god, how he's not been given a major push yet is crazy. Like, he had a great rivalry with Ray throughout the year. But I had picked him to go up against Joe if Ray couldn't. Next match, a fun match actually. Miz and Shane.
I really enjoyed that match. If Kofi and Bryan didn't happen, Miz and Shane would have been my match of the night.
Yeah, to me it was the same thing as him and AJ. People were like, "Ugh, why is this such like this great talent going up against Shane McMahon?" And I was like, well, after AJ, I have no doubt Shane McMahon would put on a hell of a match, and he did. Absolutely hell of a match. And the worst, this is the worst bump of the night, just because it made me go, "Oh my God, is he dead?" Was the Miz hitting over the screen, and then he jumped over the rail, slid off the top of the golf cart and smacked the floor. I was like, "Oh my God, he's dead!"
That was a long drop as well.
It was a really long drop. The thing is, like, it didn't even bother. Like, it looked like it didn't even bother him.
I mean, the guy jumps off like 30-foot towers. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah. And then, like, Miz's dad getting in the ring, I thought, yeah, we're gonna have a tag team match, father and son. Get McMahon down here.
Just George, like, putting his hands up, ready to fight.
He didn't even put him up right. He was like this.
When Shane helped him, I thought,
Shane helped him. Shane helped him.
It's like, no, it's like this, George. Come here.
Well, I was like,
okay, now we're ready.
I was like, get my Uncle Vince down here. Let's go. Tag team match.
That would have actually been hilarious as well.
I would have pissed myself laughing. Or even if Shane didn't attack him and Vince just like walked down doing his strut and the two of them went at it, I would have pissed myself laughing.
You just see out of nowhere, George has actually been practicing wrestling and he's a 450 on Shane.
What's the move called? Sorry, I forgot what it's called. You know what AJ does it, where he's got his back turned to the person, he jumps, does like a flip over and catches them with his foot. What's that move called again?
Oh, the Pele kick.
The Pele kick, that's it. Imagine he does like a Pele kick. Imagine he did like a 450.
You just said that.
Oh, did you? Sorry.
Yeah.
Imagine he did Shane McMahon's elbow through the table.
Imagine if he did Shane McMahon's shooting star press.
Oh God! All these possibilities. But yeah, I thought that was a great match. Now, I wish I had. I just came to my mind. I wish I had the clip ready, and I'll probably at this point insert it into the YouTube video from the reaction stream. And if I do, here it is. Here it comes. Off to the retirement home with ya. Told you! Told everyone! Baron fucking Corbin! Sending him to retirement home! Told everyone! Baron Corbin has just ended the career of Kurt Angle. Reaction to what Baron Corbin won. Oh my God, I've never had so much passion come out of me. I literally got up, I was like, I told you all, Corbin was gonna win, and no one listened. I was so happy. You'd probably think different. I thought the right person won that match.
So, if Corbin hadn't been taking so many L's on the lead up to WrestleMania, I would have been perfectly fine with him beating Angle. But because, you know, like after Raw had finished or whatever, he was getting dirty deeds by Dean Ambrose. Like a few weeks before that, he was getting pinned by Apollo Crews. I mean, come on, at least like portray him as a possible, you know, person who could end his career.
But the thing is, that's kind of thing. You go in like, oh, he's not going to win. And then once he wins, like, I told you all. I told you all I was going to win. And now I killed your gold medalist.
I mean, let's just ignore this match, though, and let's talk about the person who everyone thought was going to be replacing Corbin.
John.
The Doctor of Fuckonomics.
I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a great shock.
Oh my god, I I almost cried tears of joy.
And
That was amazing.
the thing is, like him breaking like the kind of fourth wall, everything's like, I'm about to go heel on you, and it's like, oh my god, he's going heel. Um,
We're finally getting it.
yeah, he's finally getting it, and like all the stuff. The thing is, you think with the PG type of stuff now they'd hold back on some of the stuff. No, he was doing the same old routine that he used to do. The whole nuts and everything.
Do you know what made me pop the most? When he said about hitting the FU. But I just did it for me.
Oh my god! When he said "f you," I marked out so bad. Even afterwards, I was like, look him in the STFU.
Oh, the throwbacks.
It's
I'm
like
getting so many happy memories.
I was, oh my god, when he said F, I just thinking back now. When he said "f you," I marked out because obviously you've grown up with me. That was the John Cena we had.
Yeah.
I even said, and I'll never. I put up a tweet afterwards. I said, to the kids who have no idea what this was, this is the John Cena we knew and loved. And some person replied something on the lines of his worst gimmick yet. I was like,
yeah, I did see that actually. I was like, are you serious?
I was like, what? What wrestling do you watch?
In what world would you prefer Fruity Pebbles Cena over the Doctor of Thugonomics?
I guarantee you he's the type of person that thinks Tamina is a great wrestler. And yes, I'm taking shots at the people who do think that. She's not. She's not. Moving on. The women's title match.
I'm so happy with the outcome. I was almost as excited for happy about this outcome than I was for Kofi's match.
I thought Sasha and Bayley were going to win. Iconics. The thing about the Iconics for me is like I like the Iconics, as long as they don't talk. I don't mind when they do their iconic type of thing. I think that's great. But when they cut a promo, I'm like, oh god, it's Enzo Amore all over again.
I just love him. Thing is, you could hear the reaction after the match, how over they are.
Yeah.
With everyone else,
I should have expected it, but I just thought they wouldn't do it because they did do it at Chamber. But it was still a good result. Like even as you said, the pop afterwards.
Did you see I think it was Peyton Royce's story on Instagram or something. It was there like an Access signing the day after, and the amount of people they had there screaming with them was amazing.
Damn. I feel bad to all the people who don't have a VIP ticket and went to go meet them, because they're set to a certain time limit, and VIPs are looked after first. No matter what, they don't give a shit if you're next in line. So all the VIPs are looked after, you ain't going up. So imagine all the people who didn't get VIP, and there was a shit ton of VIPs going through, who to miss out on seeing the Iconics.
I still think that the Iconics should have won it at Elimination Chamber, and then I would have been okay then if Sasha and Bayley won it at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but they played it smart though, because they got what they wanted. They got the reaction they wanted.
Yeah.
So, SmackDown tag title match.
What a match! That was also a very good match.
Results for me was as expected.
Yeah, I had the Usos down for myself.
I had the Usos down. Mark had Black and Ricochet. I just did not see them winning at all.
I thought it was too soon.
I thought it was gonna be like a weird combination of teams. The Bar, Ricochet, and Black, Rusev, and Nakamura, and the Usos. They all worked out to be really good.
Yeah, I thought Rusev and Nakamura was going to be like the dark horse and maybe possibly pick up the surprise win. Because obviously that's what they like to do.
Yeah.
You know, still putting a good show in.
Oh, they put on a regular show, especially Ricochet and Black. Like,
yeah.
was it WrestleMania or was it NXT? So I don't know why, but since I was a young kid, I always wanted to see a spot where someone, the normal thing, go run against the ropes and jump over the top rope. I always want to see someone do some sort of like flip while doing that, like 360. And when I see Ricochet do that, I popped. I was like, someone did it! I've wanted to see that for years.
I remember when he does like, so like handspring, then does like a backflip over a rope, or
yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
Like, the thing is, I know this has absolutely nothing to do with WrestleMania, and we're not going to talk about NXT, even though NXT, oh my god, what a night.
Yeah.
That tag, I think, match of the weekend, in my opinion, NXT tag titles.
Match of the weekend for me was probably Bryan vs Kofi, just for the sheer emotion.
Oh, yeah. Because
yeah.
To me, start to finish, the tag match was just...
Oh yeah, wrestling wise, yeah, that'd probably be my match of the weekend as well. But story wise,
moments and story wise, Bryan Kofi. So last match, I believe, we're the last match now. The IC title match, Finn winning as the Demon, kind of expected.
Yeah. I was expecting to be. I know it was a quick match anyway, but I was expecting it to be quicker.
Yeah.
Like,
the one issue I
I
have with Demon Finn in 2019 is.
I didn't even see that on Raw. I was like, what's all this about?
And the thing is, I kind of let it pass on Raw. It's kind of like, okay, that's a bit weird, that's not terrifying at all. If I was Bobby Lashley, I'd be like, okay, this guy needs help. But then at WrestleMania, it was just non-stop. I was like, what?
It's like Vince doesn't know what his whole demon character is supposed to be, so he's like, just go there and make weird noises. Stick your tongue out.
Stick your tongue out. Pretend you're 10 years old again. Like this. So it was just complete. Like, Demon Finn in 2019 is just a weird Finn. So, WrestleMania was as you said and I said. I give it a good 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah,
I
very fair.
There's not. I know I'm gonna get such a low rating, but there's not much to complain about it. Like, it was a solid watch. Like, it's something you could just sit down and just watch.
It's definitely the best one for like the past few years.
Yeah, as long as you have 8 hours to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now next then we have the Raw and SmackDown after Mania, which were honestly the most lackluster Raw and SmackDown after Mania in years.
Yeah, like I was expecting like something big, big debuts. I mean, I guess it was something big, but
we got Lars Sullivan. Lars Sullivan finally appeared up in WWE main roster.
I was thinking of something else.
Yeah, I know exactly what you were thinking of. But I had said it beforehand. I forget whose stream I was on. I know for SmackDown I was in Cat's stream. I can't remember whose stream I was in for Raw. I had said I don't think there'll be any call-ups or nothing. I think they're going to do the exact same thing they did with the shake-up last year. Do all the call-ups then. So I kind of expected that.
Isn't that them call-ups today?
They had last year for Raw. They had Bobby Lashley, Ember Moon.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
Yeah, it wasn't really that much.
And then SmackDown just had the Iconics, and then it was the following week we had Sanity, Andrade, and a whole list of other NXT people. But it was very lackluster. It really, really was. Like, one thing I hated, and you said to wait for this on the podcast, I can finally rant about it. If you're on Raw, stay on Raw. If you're on SmackDown, stay on SmackDown. I hate that. I don't know why, but I always hate cross-brand exchanges. Stay on your roster. Keep the brand split.
Even for Survivor Series?
Oh, no. It's like the joint pay-per-views I don't give a shit about. Survivor Series, I love Survivor Series. I love when SmackDown.
No, I mean like, so like, brands crossing over to like attack people for the build-up to.
Oh no, that's if you attack people, that's fine. You know, that's fine. But if you're literally coming to be on the show, and start to finish, like have a match and storyline and stuff like that. And if it's not like for Survivor Series where, how about this? As a pre-Survivor Series, I'll stick my guy against your guy. That's fine. That's I'm kind of like okay. But if you literally show up and you're not supposed to be on that brand, you just show up randomly, like Big Show. Big Show showed up at the bar. I was like, Big Show's a Raw guy. Why are you on SmackDown? That's just the way I've always liked it. I preferred it.
I mean, to be fair though, if it's gonna be one other show of the year other than obviously around Survivor Series time, this one is fair enough because obviously you got the brands of the Superstar Shake-Up for next week.
But it kind of
basically just like a prelude to what's happening.
Yeah, but then at the same time, it could also be like a big, not so much a spoiler, but like kind of you start expecting it, and when you don't get this, you're kind of like, But
yes.
When it comes to Raw, I know we mentioned it earlier on with the Seth Rollins thing, with Kofi Kingston. I was like, oh my god, please don't take the title off Kofi. And then, I think it was after that segment, they literally spoiled the match with tomorrow night on SmackDown Live. Kofi Kingston's the WWE champion. And we're going to have a celebration. You're kind of like, what? How do you know this?
So, is he going to win the title? Or it's going to be a double DQ? Or what's going on?
Like, you're kind of like, well, that's just going to spoil the thing now. So that was kind of like a letdown for me. But SmackDown, then literally nothing happened on SmackDown other than the Hardys winning the SmackDown titles, which I feel should have happened at WrestleMania and not the SmackDown after Mania. Nothing really happened on SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh God!
Yeah,
I think I just realized what I've done to you. Didn't you say you've not watched the SmackDown yet?
I mean, I've seen like the thumbnails and all that on YouTube.
Okay.
I don't mind if you spoil anything. It's fine.
Okay. But yeah, so like when it comes to like Raw and SmackDown, it was very lackluster this year.
Yeah, from what I seen, it was anyway.
Because like I was even debating like, well, should I stay up for it? I thought, you know what, no. Because last year's one were alright. SmackDown was the disappointment because we expected more than just the Iconics.
Yeah, I guess.
But this year was like we got nothing.
Did you see Paige saying about?
I saw that. You know, that's a good thing to bring that up. Who do you think?
I don't think it's going to be the Sky Pirates.
I don't think it's going to be the Sky Pirates either.
I think they're going to give EO a run with the NXT Women's Championship first, surely.
I think it's going to be... I want it to be two females who we don't know about that signed, and hopefully... I probably won't know who they are if they're from the independent scene, but I'm hoping it's someone we don't know, and it's just, it's just a badass team, really.
I mean, I'm just trying to think.
Like, hopefully it's just show up. What's her one's name? Alea, is it? Alea?
Aaliyah and I can see it being Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne, possibly. But
I,
not really a big name, is it?
no, it's not. That's the thing. And like when you think of NXT women tag teams, it's like, is she gonna show up with Shayna Baszler's too? What?
I mean, could it be? The other two members of the Four Horsemen. Is it Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir?
Like I don't know. 'Cause the thing is as well, like that would be sort of good because we've not seen them in the ring, but we don't know what they're doing in the background. Like they could have been training for so long, but Triple H is like, you know, we're gonna hold on. We're not gonna do anything yet. We're gonna work on you guys, and we're gonna put you straight to main roster, so we can get the Four Horsemen underway. But I'm interested to see who it is.
Isn't Ronda supposedly leaving now?
Oh, people say that. I don't think she will. I don't think she is.
I mean, she's got a hand injury at the minute anyway, so I guess she's somewhat leaving.
Yeah. But I don't think she's done. I don't think she's done at all with WWE. Especially after that WrestleMania, there's not a chance she's done. But are they getting people at Page are bringing up? Are they getting a regular match or are they getting Iconics?
I mean, I imagine we'll get like a regular debut match first before obviously getting a chance at the Iconics.
Okay. Because I just really was not sure. But speaking of next week, it's the Superstar Shake-Up. My favorite time of the year. And we've got some predictions on who we think is going to go to which brands. And because, you know, you claim you always have the better brands than me, I'll let you go and do your first two swaps.
Oh, so we're just gonna go with Raw and SmackDown switches first?
Yeah. So literally your top. So when I say your first two, like, well, who's going to Raw? Who's going to SmackDown?
Okay, so I feel like this is finally gonna be the year where we have the full club together.
Ooh.
So I think it's either gonna be just Finn going to SmackDown, or maybe the more likely thing of AJ and Gallows and Anderson going to Raw.
Okay.
I feel like that's
I
probably gonna happen.
I
this
like
year.
this because we're pretty much starting the same, but I have it different to you. I have it that AJ Styles has been with SmackDown for 3 years now. I think he's going to go to Monday Night Raw, but I think Finn Balor is going to go to SmackDown Live.
I don't know. I feel like they just can't keep avoiding each other for too long. Like it's been what? It's been about it's been like 2 years since Finn won the Universal Championship, isn't it? 2 years.
2 years already passed. It's been about 2.5, 3 years. Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years in August.
Yeah. I mean, this just seems like too long for those two to be avoiding each other and obviously avoiding the connection that is between the both of them.
Yeah. Well, I
And I
just
think
I think
in the future,
AJ
between those.
AJ has
What?
built SmackDown Live as the house that AJ Styles built, and I think he's done everything he can do on SmackDown. So and Finn's done everything he can do on Raw, other than get back that Universal title. So I think they're gonna swap like that again, and Finn's gonna take the IC title to SmackDown Live.
I mean, haven't they done that every year so far?
No,
Just,
they
like,
skipped. Well, they teased it last year, and then Jinder lost the title to Jeff, and Jeff went to SmackDown.
Yeah, well, they basically did, but they didn't at the same time.
Yeah. So, well, that's what I think will happen. So, go on with your next shake-up.
I mean, there's already been two teased from going from Raw to SmackDown, and that's Braun and Drew. So I guess those are possible candidates for it.
Okay. I said that. Hello, I failed. Thought we had 2 hour difference. No, we had our. I think our clocks went. Our clocks go forward. Our clocks go back.
They went forward.
Yes, not too long ago. So I thought you knew, SG. I would have told you if you didn't. Um, I think I think the Usos are done on SmackDown. I think they're done.
Oh yeah, the Usos definitely going to Raw.
Like, it should have happened last year. I feel should have happened last year. They should have traded with the Bar, but this year I think the Usos are going to go to Raw, and I think the Revival is going to come to SmackDown.
Yeah, I was just about to say Revival SmackDown.
I think the Revival was SmackDown, because they're just not being used right on Raw, and there's nothing else they can really do. So I think they're going to go to SmackDown Live.
Have the Revival signed a new contract? Or are they still humming and hawing about it?
I don't know. All I know is they said don't listen to the internet.
Hashtag Revival to AEW confirmed.
Please don't leave me. So go on with your next one. What do you think's next?
Trying to think who can go from SmackDown to Raw. Brian.
Yes, he's down on my list to go to Raw. Daniel Bryan to go to Raw.
Yeah.
I think
It's gotta be.
I think there's nothing else you can really do on SmackDown, especially because they are starting this new storyline with Drew. And Drew, I will say Drew and Braun are on my list to go to SmackDown. I think Daniel Bryan and the Bar will go to Raw.
I can't see the bar moving.
What, like, I think with
Seven.
too many top names in the SmackDown tag division, like when the Bar and the Usos came over. 1 second.
But this is also why I think that Gallows and Anderson will go to Raw, because
I don't.
once they're all part of the club, then they get it pushed and then they look like stars.
The thing is, I think the Bar. Like I was getting to this point. There's too many big tag teams on SmackDown. Like the last Superstar Shakeup, really just affected the SmackDown tag division. Don't get me wrong, the SmackDown tag division has been on fire all year, but like you've also got the Club who's there. You've got Sanity who's there. Where the hell are the Colognes?
Hasn't one left?
No, they're both still there.
I swear one of them left. I'm sure it was.
No, they're both still there because they had the match like earlier on in the year. But like all these, there's smaller tag teams. Like I really thought the Club was going to shine this year. Really thought the Club was going to shine. I really just I think the Bar is going to go to Raw just to take one big tag team off, and I think the B team is going to go to SmackDown. I think the B team is going to go to SmackDown.
I mean, they're not really going to get used much, are they?
But
Do
they
you think that Tyler Breeze is going to stay where he is, or?
I have not gone down my list, but if I have to say, I'd like him to come back to SmackDown Live.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
Woods
he's
does as well, because that's all he says on Twitter.
the thing is, like, he's gone back to the Prince Pretty gimmick because Fandango said, I don't know if do you follow WWE PC on YouTube.
I've been watching a few of the videos recently. Actually.
Fandango has a video up there about his recovery, and he pretty much says he's done with the fashion police and comedy gimmicks, that he wants to focus on a more serious gimmick. So, and the thing is, like, watching that video, I want him to get a more serious gimmick and see how he gets on. So I think Fandango will stay on Raw, maybe battle out for the mid-card title there, and I think Tyler Breeze will go to SmackDown and be Prince Pretty.
Here's another thing though, because I saw WWE teasing about it. I think it's about a month or so ago, maybe. It was on about the possibility of main roster superstars getting drafted to NXT.
The thing is that that's been talked about for over a year now. If that was to happen, I think it would be good for main roster, but I think it would be bad for NXT.
Why do you think that?
Because when you think of NXT, you think of talent rising up, not talent, who have you're pretty NXT. You're pretty much fighting to get to that main roster. Whereas those guys will see this. Well, some of them might see this as a demotion and be like, "Well, what the fuck do I care now?"
I don't know if you've seen though. Tyler Breeze has. Well, he put
Oh,
on
he
Twitter
went.
earlier, but he wants
But the thing is, it's
the
the
North
the,
American
the, the
Championship.
old NXT guy. I've seen the match. I've watched the match. Amazing match. Those old NXT guys like Tyler Breeze, they'll happily go back to NXT because that's their home. That's where they made their name. And the Tyler Breeze character, is made for NXT.
Yeah.
It's made for main roster too, but it just hasn't transcended or gone as far as he hoped.
What about Luke Harper?
The thing is, Luke Harper's been talking about how he wants a big role now.
Yeah. Will they give it to him though? Probably not.
They lost their opportunity with Luke Harper. You go back.
Yeah,
You go back
they
to.
missed the boat last.
They
WrestleMania.
missed they missed that putting on the rocket and shooting him to the moon type of thing. He had a fantastic match with Randy Orton at Elimination Chamber, leading up to WrestleMania 33. Yeah, I went to 34, 33.
He also had a fantastic match with AJ Styles.
AJ Styles. So they really dropped the ball on that one. Not to say I enjoyed the Bludgeon Brothers, but I felt Luke Harper really could have, been a big. It could have been the Kofi Kingston of that time.
Well, I wouldn't say Kofi.
No,
Kingston,
as in like
but,
not in the sense of the guy who's not supposed to be there being there.
yeah, I guess.
I don't mean like Kofi Kingston like, oh my god, put the title on him. I mean in the sense of this guy that they like.
I'd probably put it under more of the category of the whole Jinder situation, except Jinder with skill.
Yeah. I've put down Lars Sullivan will go to Raw. I think that's more where his character will be better. And as I said, Strowman. I think they'll do a swap there. Strowman will be the big guy for SmackDown.
Yeah, I was gonna say if Strowman's going to SmackDown, it's gotta be Lars to Raw.
Lacey Evans, I've got down for SmackDown.
Yep.
Aleister Black Raw.
What do you think?
Ricochet SmackDown.
I can. If they do split up, I can see it being the other way around. Because there's something about Ricochet. He's must watch.
That's the thing. I'm like, they're both must watch. And it's like, well, thing is, I want to separate you guys because you're a fantastic tag team, but you are amazing competitors on your own.
Yeah.
So I don't mind. Realistically, they both fit in each brand. So I don't mind. I just want them split up.
I think Ricochet fits the Raw mold more though, because obviously that's the main show. That's I guess the A show.
Yeah.
And when you got a guy who can do moves like he can, like diving over the corner post.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. All stuff that makes you go, oh my god.
Yeah.
That's someone you have to have on Raw.
Yeah, I agree. So I spoke about Finn Balor going over the Intercontinental title. I think Joe's going to go back to Raw with the US title.
You're a Mike. Yeah.
I think he's going to go back with the US title.
I disagree. I don't think there's a place for Samoa Joe on Raw at the minute. I think I could see the first title, like world title, him winning, being the actual World Heavyweight Championship and not, well, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and not obviously the Universal Championship.
Here's a question: do you think, maybe not this year, maybe next year, will they ever swap the heavyweight titles on the brands? Imagine, just picture in your head that blue leather strap for the Universal title.
Okay, so I can't see it being done this year.
It won't be done this year. I don't think it'll be done this year.
Next year, depending on the holders of both belts. Say, like, if Braun has the WWE Championship by then, or something, or maybe even Drew, then I can see maybe switching them back to Raw. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
If there's a big guy and a big personality on SmackDown, they're more than likely going to switch it.
Because it's kind of the thing. It's not like when we used to have the WWE title and the World Heavyweight title. You know, the Universal title, it's red. It's raw red. So, you know, if they bring it to SmackDown, are they going to stick a blue strap on it? You know,
Aren't they doing some title design changes soon?
God, I hope so. Every title looking the same pisses me off.
I think I've seen that they're changing the look of the tag titles, maybe.
The thing is, I would be okay if they changed the Raw ones. I don't know why. I like the silver and blue and the SmackDown ones.
Yeah, the silver and blue looks nice. I would like for them to bring like have you seen the Revival tease and like bring them back? Like,
yes, I did. And they were at a house show,
school.
and I was hoping they come out with them in the house show. I was like, that'd be very cool if they did that.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
The Revival with those championships looks.
It would have worked. It would have worked.
Yeah. I wish it would have.
I think if there's one tag team that could bring back an old title, a bit like how Cody Rhodes brought back the old Intercontinental title, I think the Revival could do that.
Yeah.
Like if the Revival went to SmackDown, I'd mark out for this. If the Revival went to SmackDown, won the tag titles, and brought back the classic SmackDown tag titles, I thought that belt was cool.
Yeah, I think I'd rather the Revival bring back one of the old championships. No, the ones that actually look nice.
Yeah.
I think I'm better that than switching out the Universal Championship.
Yeah. Speaking of tag teams, I think Heavy Machinery is going to go to Raw.
Well, I think Heavy Machinery are going to stay with Alexa Bliss, so wherever she goes, they go.
Because, you know what, I thought, Heavy Machinery, whatever. Otis is the best damn thing that happened to WWE. He is brilliant.
I hate him.
What?
With a passion. I've hated him ever since he was in NXT.
I think he's great. I think he's funny.
It's too cringy for me. I can't deal with it.
Hey, Tucky! Tucky!
I don't understand how. I still don't really understand how everyone loves Elias.
What? Why did I invite you on this podcast?
I just don't get it.
Do you know what? That's your decision. That's your opinion.
I'm guessing my wrong opinion.
No, you know what? That's your opinion. That's your opinion. Unless you're like those people who I spoke about last year, last week. The podcast has been going on for a year long now. Do you remember after? I don't know if you were up. Did you watch the Belair and what's her name Baszler match live at Takeover in Phoenix?
I think I did, yeah.
The backlash after that, if you were one of those fans who were like, she said it, blah, 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 you've ruined her character, when they've added to her character, if you were one of those fans, I'd hate you. That's the opinions I hate. But speaking of Belair, I've put her down to be called up to Raw.
Yeah,
I think she served her purpose in NXT. I feel like they've added to her character enough to the point where she can come in roster.
She was one of my call-ups. I was thinking would actually come up from NXT, but I was thinking she would be more likely to go to SmackDown because the other female call-up I would have said was Kyrie, and I think she's probably more suited to.
I have Kyrie down for
Raw.
SmackDown.
I don't know. I think the Raw Women's division needs the bigger name. I think because the only ones you really have are Sasha Bailey. I guess you could say Nia, but I won't because I can't stand her.
The reason I put Kyrie Sane over to SmackDown is because I put Charlotte down for Raw. And I put Mela down for Raw.
Ugh.
And then I've got Ember, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Nia for SmackDown.
Okay, so I agree with Carmella. Charlotte, I think, should stay on SmackDown.
And obviously, I just want to pause you. Obviously, but saying Mela, Truth is going to go as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so Mela and Truth, they can go to Raw, but instead of Charlotte, I would think that Naomi would go to Raw.
The thing is, I'm not a big Naomi fan, but I feel like her character really isn't made for Raw. I think she's kind of made for that kind of SmackDown scene. I don't know why, I just kind of think that.
It's another one of those things. It's like it's the same as AJ. She's been there the whole time.
Yeah, you've been there since the beginning. Another thing, this might be pushing it a little bit. Randy Orton to Raw, because Randy Orton is another guy, who's you've been there for so long. I think it's time to move on.
Would they put Styles and Orton?
That's what I'm. I don't have Orton down on my list, but that is a person, that's kind of pushing it a bit too much, as a person to go over.
I got Orton saying.
I've EC3 and Drake Maverick down for SmackDown.
Oh, another one. Ray to Raw.
Yeah, I can see that. AJ to Raw, Easy AJ versus Seth on Mania 36. That'd be a good match.
No, Ray, like Rey Mysterio.
Oh no, right. I know you said. Sorry, someone Valor came in the chat and said that. Sorry. Rey Mysterio to Raw. Yeah, I can 1,000% see that happening.
Yeah.
He doesn't have very long left in him, and to have at least been on both brands would be a good thing for him, I think.
And also, I think, although the matches are excellent, they've run out the whole Rey vs Andrade thing a bit too long.
They have. They've done that for way too long. It was a great rivalry, but I think it's time to end that.
Should have ended on a pay-per-view, but nonetheless.
This is the last pick I have down, and it kind of makes no sense, but at the same time it does. Sanity and Nikki Cross to Raw. Undisputed Era to SmackDown.
I don't think Undisputed Era are going up just yet. I'm saying around SummerSlam time.
The reason I've Undisputed Era down, because it's essentially the same as AJ Styles and them. You've been in NXT for so long that it's like, well, what can you do now?
The only problem I have with Undisputed Era going up right now is the fact that they're teasing a whole split.
Yeah, they're teasing the split. What's up, Darren?
So maybe... Okay, so obviously the guy they're teasing who's going to be splitting from Undisputed Era is Strong. So maybe Strong gets the call up on his own, maybe?
The thing is, I could be wrong here, so don't at me. But with the new intro, I don't think on this, because I was watching NXT last night, I don't think I saw the Undisputed Era on the intro.
I have not watched it yet, so I'll have to give it a look once this is finished.
And once it's finished, I'm probably gonna look it up myself. I don't think they were on the intro. So that's my kind of guess to them going up.
But I can't see them, like, how are they gonna work like the whole breakup story onto the main roster when there's so many people like who only watch main roster, like won't even have a clue about
But
it. Like,
they probably won't do that type of rivalry. Um, well, do you know what they could do? If Finn Balor comes to SmackDown Live, you've got 4v4 right there. And a big 4v4 right there. So that
or
could.
if AJ Styles and Gallows and Anderson go to Raw,
Yeah.
that's a,
You know,
that's a big Survivor Series match.
not even Survivor Series. Big, SummerSlam match. I
Yeah,
think
true.
I think if they were to do Survivor Series, they'd all have to find an extra member. So, but
I
if
mean,
I'll say this: if the club are 100% back, all four, on one night, I see it happening. I see Undisputed Era coming up.
I mean, it doesn't really have to be an extra member on it, though, because they could just
Yeah,
do another special attraction match like they did with the
yeah,
Shield
yeah, yeah.
versus New
I
Day.
was about to say. To be fair, they did do the Shield versus the New Day, so yeah, but all possibilities, all possibilities. Um,
A risky. There's two risky picks that I've got for call-ups. I got a slight feeling possibly Keith Lee
okay.
and Cassius Ohno.
The thing is, I really don't want Keith Lee to go up for one reason. I really want to see him and your man go at it at Takeover. I thought they should have been on Takeover, New York.
Wait,
I,
who? Keith Lee
what's
and who?
Keith Lee and what's his name again? I
Velveteen
really
Dream?
say it again.
Velveteen Dream?
No, 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 no. I've got his name down here. Just give me 2 seconds. Dominic, whatever his last name is.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I thought they should have been on Takeover New York. I thought their match in NXT was really, really good.
I mean, I'm looking forward. If Keith Lee doesn't get called up, which he might not anyway, because, he hasn't really been there for that long.
Mm.
I'm looking forward to when Keith Lee wins a championship, more than likely the North American Championship,
Yeah,
and then an actual championship match between those two are outstanding.
yeah. I'm very when it comes to Dominic, if that's his name. I like the guy so much. I don't remember his name. I was saying this to Mark last week.
I
When I was at
I usually
Access,
just,
go on.
I usually just refer to him as the same name he was on the Indies, which is just Dijak.
Dijak, okay. Dijak. When I was at Access last year, him and Akira Tozawa had a match, and they put on one of the best big man versus small man matches I've seen in a very long time. Like, if there was footage out there of the match, I'd recommend anyone to go watch it. It was great. It was fun to watch. One of the best big man versus small man matches, and Akira Tozawa won it, and he really impressed me that night. Like, that's why when I seen him go into NXT against Keith Lee, I thought I really gotta watch that match. That match was really, really good. I thought, this guy's really earned my respect. He's really good.
The thing is with Keith Lee and Dijak, I automatically go into indie wrestling fan mode and think of a match at PWG,
Yeah.
which got a 5 star from Dave Meltzer. But it was an amazing match.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see them get like as much time as they can in a championship match, possibly.
Me too. I really wanted them to go to Takeover. And the fact they didn't go to Takeover really, I was like, why? I understand you had like a Night of Champions, but like they deserved Takeover. They deserved Takeover so badly.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but yeah, that's. Do you have any other shake-up prediction picks you want to do?
Oh, actually, yeah. How did I not remember this one? Pete Dunne to Raw.
That would be a very big pick.
I feel like that's gotta be coming out. He's literally just finished up a
Yeah,
600 odd day title reign.
but at the same
Like,
time, it's
surely.
like, as an NXT UK fan, it's like, I don't want you to leave.
Yeah, but the thing is, they they've got their man now.
Yeah,
They've got Walter, and I feel like he's definitely a brilliant, like, good replacement to Pete Dunne to carry the rest of the NXT UK.
that match was so hard hitting. I really enjoyed that match.
Oh, I love Walter with a passion.
Sure, it was you that told me to watch out for Walter, because when Walter came up at NXT UK Takeover, I was like, I don't know who this guy is, but these guys are going mad for him. You're the person like, man, keep an eye on him.
Yeah, legit. You just have to keep an eye out for him just for one thing, and that's his chops.
Oh my god! I remember
Oh
someone.
my!
I remember someone said during the during the match, I've seen it on Twitter. They said if Walter was in the Greatest Royal Rumble instead of Roderick Strong, we would have been able to see Daniel Bryan's ribcage.
I think there was a match that he had on Progress with someone. I can't remember who it was, but literally the photo of him after the match of the guy Walter was versing, his whole chest was just red, raw, bloody. Oh, I was thinking, how could you even think about going into a match with that man?
His chops, like, oh my god. I like Walter. I like Walter a lot, and I was happy. I was very very happy that the NXT crowd in New York knew to do the chant during his theme song.
Yeah.
I was happy. I was happy he got that.
Walter might have the best theme song in WWE today.
Da 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 da. It's fun to sing along to.
It fits him so well.
Oh, it does. It really, really does. And you know what? I can't wait for Walter to go main roster.
It might be a little while before that.
Well, seeing as how we're on NXT UK, we'll end with this one. Will Mustache Mountain go main roster?
Well, aren't they currently still the NXT UK champions?
They never won the titles.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
No, Zach Gibson and your man won them.
I swear that.
They had the NXT tag titles, but they lost in the finals of the tournament to Zach Gibson and your man.
It's been so long. I literally can't remember that whole.
Trust me, they don't have they don't have the titles.
Oh well. Possibly then. Oh, I think they'd have to bring them up all together, or wouldn't they, as British Strong Style? That's a lot of stables together, then, isn't it?
Imagine that. The Undisputed Era, the club, and British Strong Style. There's our WrestleMania UK main event.
Oh god, that'd be amazing.
Stream's still going. We're just about to end SG. But yeah, so that's pretty much we've ran through everything.
Yep.
So Mark missed out. I actually quite enjoyed this one. Remember when you said we upgraded? You were right. Don't sue me, Mark.
Right for once.
Yeah. So hopefully Mark will be back next week. Liam, it was great having you on.
Thank you very much.
And as I said, you will be back because there is nobody that knows UK wrestling more than you.
Well,
in my opinion.
Okay, well,
you know more than I do.
I do the people you know maybe, but there's definitely people who know a lot more than me.
I have a few select friends, and you're the one that knows UK wrestling more than anyone that I know.
Okay, I guess I could take that.
Take the compliment and run with it. But I'm...
Me? Run?
Run with it. Run with it, Liam.
Never run before my life.
So that's going to be it, guys. So I will be back next week with hopefully Mark. If not, we'll have another special guest. Maybe Liam. Who knows? With the Superstar Shake-Up reactions where the whole scene of WWE will change. And hopefully everybody stays, where they belong. But thanks everybody who came in here on Twitch, and thank you to whoever's watching this on YouTube right now. And I shall see you next week with another episode of the 115 Podcast. Liam, you want to end out on anything?
Subscribe to PewDiePie.
Couldn't have ended it any better.